It's just a bit of like me personally seeing it go to the community. If they see the game devs playing their own game, it's exciting, like that they're in it as well.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Just run the dev build real quick here. Let's see. I don't know if I can do this.
Whew. It's such a funny thing. Like you start streaming, you start doing things, and you're slowly adding in more and more, and then you learn. And that shows you used to take 5 or 10 minutes to prepare. They now take half an hour, and if you don't do it, you get all confused. Ha! Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Give me 5 seconds, KingLord, and I will come back.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Ugh.
Okay. Oh. That's right.
Where's my Discord? Discord. Alrighty. Grape Gaming Day, 29th of March. Welcome along, everyone. We're going to have 3 guests in this week. Low numbers, which is interesting. But we will be live to YouTube. We will also edit this for later on. So this is I don't even know where we are, 5th, 6th week doing this. And I'll bring in 3 games every week. This is KingLord's second visit. After KingLord from Roguestar, we've got Zoe from ChainMyth. He's been in many times, to Grape. And then we're also going to have Mr. Rudi coming back for Eizper Chain. So it's one of the things that at Grape we're going to be pushing into Web 3.0, building out teams. And the games today, none of them are any exception. I'd like to have teams here for all of us. And it is really cool to see them coming along. It's super awesome to have game devs coming along every week, showing us their wares, showing us where they are updated in their timeline, and seeing cameras, seeing gameplay, all those kinds of things. So, KingLord, welcome along this morning.
Yes, thank you. Here, let me flip on you on camera here. I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll see if there's any changes to the bedroom.
It's my office now. My husband. Oops. Yeah, let me get my OBS go. Okay, here we go. Doop-a-doop. Go. There we go. Hello.
Hey, there you are. Let me just double check whether
Yes.
I'm live or not, because it should be. Oh, that'll help. Let me get a tweet out for this, King, and then we will get into it, my dude. Feel free to chuck on your screen share. Guys can start having a look if you've got stuff there.
Oh, yeah, you want me to share some stuff on here? Sure. Let's see here. Can I share? Okay, 1 second here. I'm just trying to.
I had a problem with OBS the other day, so it caused me to do a private screen capture on YouTube, so I could record via that. It was a silly setup. It's interesting. That's public now. I'll get a tweet out for that as well.
Just seeing if I can pop this out. I don't think I can. It's not a huge deal. You guys will just make fun of me for some bad code. Here we go. All right. Work. I think. Where is it?
What do we got? There we are, Mr. KingLord. Welcome.
Hello. All right. Yeah, I was trying to see. I'll just have to pop this out like this. It will work okay.
So,
let's see if this works.
Where are we in the scheme of things with you guys? At Roguestar, you've had a little bit of a delay on your mints, but it's still been work. You guys have been progressing along since last time you came in. I think that was 4 or 5 weeks ago. You've had the combat demo come out, and it's so busy, isn't it, in the space? You are one of the devs for the team yourself, so I mean, can you want to do a little bit of an intro for people that haven't heard of Roguestar before, and then sort of talk about where you are?
Sure. So long story short, Roguestar, we are building what we hope is kind of a I don't want to use a bad term here, but it's basically a game that's heavily inspired by a lot of the older school kind of arcadey flight sim games that I grew up on, with roots in things like Wing Commander and Privateer, um, up to some modernizations like in Rogue Squadron, and pairing that kind of gameplay with a more social ARPG or like MMO style, similar to like WoW, where you've got a lot of social like PVE content that you're doing, things like raids, and a very heavy loot and crafting system. So it's kind of like a culmination of these things packaged into what we think will be a super exciting game that delivers at least two distinct kind of play paths for people. So if you're more in line with like the kind of the Twitch, arcadey, flight sim type stuff, you can absolutely focus on that as a pilot. But if that's not your forte and you're you want to kind of just have a little bit more non uh, you know reaction based kind of gameplay, you can focus on more of the exploration, the crafting, and go at things in that manner. So there's a couple kind of really innovative things that I'm excited about, that we're doing that rewards exploration, and how we kind of quantify knowledge and how that's used in our crafting system. So we have a very basically a too extensive white paper that's still out on our website. If you want to give that a gander, we're probably going to be doing a light paper, so it's a little bit easier for people to kind of grok everything that's going on. But we go into a whole bunch of detail on a lot of these systems that have a lot of us excited. I think probably one of the big things that we're very focused on is that we're building a fun game first, and that's what that's obviously the intent of the team. And then we're using Web3 technologies around like NFTs and tokens and things like that to help power a player-driven economy and ownership. But that's not going to be the focal point of the game, right? So we want people to be playing the game because they're having fun and they're enjoying it, and there's this large draw around it, and there could be some monetary rewards from that, and that's perfectly fine. That's half the point. But we want to make sure that like if someone is doing a raid and they get an awesome drop, like their mind is focused on that aspect of it. It's like, oh sweet, I finally got this piece of gear that I've been working on for a week. Not, oh sweet, here's this NFT, the super rare NFT that just dropped that I can throw on a marketplace and sell for a bunch of money, right? And so that's kind of the overall aim for the design of the game, and what we're shooting for there. So
Can we go
long story
deeper on
short,
that, King
like,
Lord? Like
sure,
this is
yeah.
very cool that you're talking about. So as an old avid World of Warcraft player, like shit, I'm trying to think of classic and I can't think of that trinket that you get from BWL. But there's these things that you might spend
Oh yeah.
months of your time trying to get. I can't even remember what it was. The 2% hit trinket from BWL.
Yeah, I can't remember the name either, but I know what you're talking about.
Drackles or something like that. Fuck, it pisses me off. I can't hear that.
Hmm.
But you spend months trying to find this item. Do you think
Hmm.
how hard is it going to be able to get people to not see the monetary figure of that? Or I guess it's having the right gamers in the system. It's having the gamers first. So you want a gamer there that's keen to play that game, and like
Hmm.
it's like selling a left testicle. You don't want to get rid of that item.
Right. There's two things. One is the community around gamers, and that's like if like our Discord does not feel like a typical like NFT kind of project, and that there's some obviously some influences there, and we have our usual GMs and things like that. But the vibe is much more like gamer first or gamer focused, and so part of that is the approach we take with the community. But the second thing, honestly, is just around the design as well, right? So older games, they had a bit of a advantage in that aspect just because it wasn't easy. Like you still could, right? There was still a whole lot of like black market stuff that happened with WoW and a lot of the other older MMOs, but it wasn't easy, so it came with like a barrier there. But I think when you look at the design for something like that, it's like if someone is just farming for that that monetary impact, right, then that's just where they're going to default to. But like even if that's your goal, right, if there's design in place that gives you incentive to not just take it and dump it, and we can talk about that a little bit more detail too if you want, but there has to be some design stuff that's in play with that as well. So we can't just go into it being kind of like a little bit nostalgic and think, oh, we'll just build this really cool game with some really cool stuff and everyone will want to play the game. I mean, yeah, there'll be people that play it for the game, I'm sure, but there's going to be a lot of people that, because there is a monetary reward associated with this stuff, they're going to go super hard on that too. Just like how WoW had the gold farmers, right? That's
Yeah,
a classic example.
I guess
You know,
it's not
um,
it's not a bad thing for the system, though, is it? Because they're still playing the game, they're creating that part of the economy, the loop, the cycle, and
mhm,
I bought gold in WoW back in vanilla, so 100
yep,
gold for my first epic mount. It was hardcore business, like you're working a full time
it
job.
was.
You don't have time to farm out that thing. It's easier to go and do a day's work than to farm the gold back in the day. Eventually you get used to
Mhm,
the gaming loops and you work your times around. So Drake Fang Talisman was the one as well. I did manage to think of the
that's
name.
it. Yep.
Yeah,
Hmm.
DFT fucking thing.
Very
I never
catchy.
got it. Never got it. Oh my god. But
I
so I
didn't either.
I guess it's not a
Mhm, go ahead.
terrible thing in the system to have and get. It's about getting your economy right, and this is where NFT gaming is going to offer people those chances, isn't it? It's the balance
Yeah.
between being play to win, play to actual play as well.
Yeah, and I think there's a really exciting thing for me, and without geeking out too much on the design aspect of stuff, when you look at WoW and what it did that was special at the time, it had a way to take more casual gamers and get them integrated into like the hardcore or like the in game flow, right? How do we take them and turn them into like something that they didn't initially have in them or were equipped for when they started the game, and that's the kind of their famous like they have treadmills and circles and all kinds of stuff that you can look at, and there's a brilliant design that lays behind that, right? And I think that there is a similar approach here, right? Because that's kind of old school, but I think the new school is how do we either there's two things here, right? It's how do we take the traditional gamer and get them into this like web3 player driven economy space and show them that and show them how that can be fun and beneficial without destroying the game. And then also the other side of that coin is for people that come in just with that focus, right? Can we actually get them and turn them from a profit driven player into someone who's playing the game for fun, right? And I think there are definite ways that we can do that, and we're gonna like this is new territory, right? So we're probably gonna try some things, and I wouldn't be surprised to see some things work and some things not. But at our core, we're a very agile, iterative company, and we're not gonna if something's not working, we're not gonna stick with it too long. And part of the way that we're building out this game and releasing vertical slices, like new vertical experiences, like every month is the current goal. They might not all be huge, but they're all going to be something that gives you a taste of some aspect of Roguestar. Like involving the community early with these, getting their feedback as we build out and put everything together into kind of that full loop, right? And that's the what we're aiming to do, Q4, Q1, 2023, where we have an early access that ties all this stuff together. Um, but yeah, like I think that that's a very exciting thing for me personally in terms of like just how these players are going to work together and what winds up being good practice and bad practice. Like I already have some opinions on what bad practice already looks like in some cases, so we'll be trying to avoid that. But no one's found that secret sauce, right, where we can be like, yes, you figured it out. And that's one of the things that's really exciting to me as a game developer and a designer, is being able to get my hands dirty, get in there, and try to find out what that secret sauce is.
Absolutely, and I want to highlight something you said there, which was important as well. And like you're going to try some things, and no one's really found it. No one's got the secret sauce. So be prepared for your games, and you want to see the game developers. You want to see them trying different things because they might find a new structure or that works, doesn't work. If they're supplying us a game and that first and foremost should be the priority, and don't overexpose yourself in a particular game with NFTs, but they're going to make mistakes. It's important that they try things, they test things, and this is a new age of gaming, blockchain gaming, Solana gaming. Roguestar is obviously going to be multi-chain from the beginning. I don't know whether you guys are using the bridge or whatever, but like you're listing on two chains at the start, so there's no perfect there's no perfect allotment here, and it's just fucking awesome to be a part of the growing stage of it. So be patient with the game devs. These guys here at Roguestar, they're actually supplying us with combat demos before there's NFTs launched. Like it's not just a little race at the start. They had a flying game where you raced around a sort of a force field, so to speak, and there was asteroids and you dodged them. You can actually play combat demo at the moment. So you guys did delay your mint, KingLord. That was a mixture between probably advertising, not being ready for it, and just wanting to keep building out, yeah?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's in play. The TLDR I can give on that is it's good news in the end, and
Yeah.
I want to be able to say more, but that's not quite fully baked yet. But tomorrow, I think tomorrow, but if not tomorrow, certainly Wednesday at the latest, we're going to have a big announcement that'll make it very clear. While we shifted around that mint date and stuff, and we're going to be changing some of that strategy a bit as well. Um, but yes, there's something coming. It's exciting. I'm very pumped for it, um, and I think it's a good thing for not just the mint itself, but just like the long term like prospects for Roguestar as well. It's yeah, it's good stuff. Um, but like I said, I'd love to be able to spill some beans, but
It's all
I
right. You,
promised I wouldn't
you spilt good
before
beans.
they do it
It's
first. So
2 days. There's going to be an announcement, so definitely watch the
yes.
space with Roguestar. So you guys did a different system with the whitelists. It was 10 postcards. If you get those, reduces
Mhm.
the cost of mint. We were looking at between 150, 180. Solana's up slightly. I guess it's up from $80, down from 260, depending on how you look at it. But either
Yep.
way, you guys are doing a system. Is there an opportunity for people in the community to come in and still get whitelist tokens?
Yes, we're still doing the whitelist tokens, and there'll be additional ways for them to get some whitelist tokens in the future. And so, what you're talking about there, we have a collection of 10 total. They're a collectible token in that they aren't burned as part of the mint. So you use them to get access to the mint. But then once you mint it, we don't burn that. You get to keep it, and that's because there will be the ability for you to display these in game as like a cosmetic item in your social space and possibly in your ship and stuff like that as well. So we want people to be able to collect those, and then there will be a special item that lets you display those. I think we might have. I don't know if we put that out on Twitter yet, but if not, sometime soon you'll see
Yep, you've
an
told us that
example of
we'll
how we're going
we'll
to be
be
doing
able
it.
to display it in game. I've definitely have seen that as
Uh-huh.
a tweet.
Yeah, but I mean, there's more. There's more to that we've done. I just don't know if it's public yet. And then we're working on the details around it, so I don't know exactly what it'll be, but we'll definitely do something special for people that have a full 10 set of those postcards. So
Yep. I have heard that. It's
yep.
it's it's hard though because look for people like I guess people like myself. Look at me. I'm following the project in different
Mhm.
aspects, but you're not. I'm not going to come in and try to swap for those 10 postcards. If it was available for me to buy on a marketplace, I'd go and buy them. That to me would be easy. And I'm not. I don't disrespect that system. I like that the community that's there, that's supporting you guys, that are building up around you guys, have got that opportunity. That's important, and it's good. It's good. It means the whales that aren't interested aren't going to get that in-game advantage. They've got to put their finger out of their ass and actually go and put a bit of effort into chasing up those 10 NFTs. It's not hard. Spend half a day and go and do it. Like see the people.
Yeah, and I think that we had a lot of discussions around that, and they will be. I need to touch base with Yaw again because I was talking to them like during their IDO pretty much,
Yep.
which was kind of crazy. But we do want to at least get all the postcards verified on Yaw, so if people are going to be trying to trade them around that way.
So
What we
why
didn't want
why did
to.
your have so much trouble after their IDO? Like they kind of shit the tin, didn't it? The tokens. I like
Yeah,
I respect
I
I
don't.
respect the platform. They've been very good in Solana gaming and for us.
Yes, so I respect those guys as a team for sure. I think the IDO there was some tokenomic stuff that was not super hot coming off that IDO. That clearly the community spoke. I think in terms of that, but I still think those guys are building a great product, and I'm 100% behind that team. Not that it's like financial advice or anything, but I think they're a great team and they're doing the right things.
Yeah.
They're not going to be perfect, and I think especially on some of the like business side stuff, they might be better builders than kind of businessmen in that regard. um, So anyway, but I still like the platform a lot, and I think that's like I use it whenever I do like peer-to-peer stuff personally. So anyways, we want to support trading on that just because we don't want people to get like duped or scammed or whatever.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like putting it on like the FFF, the Fox marketplace and stuff like that, this whole like whitelist like ecosystem market
Mm.
basically kind of sprung up after we even started, because we did the whitelist token solely as a way to prevent bots from just like slamming the mint. Um, we wanted to give people a chance to just relax and mint and not have to worry about bots. And then this whole like economy stuff started, and like that's kind of weird, and we don't like, it's not that it's a bad thing necessarily, but it's not what we created the whitelist tokens for. So we're trying to pull back a little bit from saying, oh, go on this marketplace and buy the whitelist tokens.
Yeah,
So
I
that
mean,
said, though, since
that said,
uh,
it still would give the team a trickling of a little bit of royalties as well, though, which would be nice for extra costs and things like that.
yeah, I mean it would, but I don't like I is it worth it? Maybe, I don't know. But I think the intent for us is that the postcards are like, if you want to collect a set of 10, um, you don't have to scramble and do it before the mint, because it's kind of
Yeah,
conflated, right? Because
yeah.
it's like there's a mint benefit and then the postcard itself. And we'll be doing, like, without spilling a whole bunch of stuff, we have some plans for people that are trying. If you're really curious and you want to get a postcard, we'll have a way like to kind of access these postcards after mint. That'll be, I think, pretty cool. But give you a chance to kind of complete that, um, complete your collection basically without having to play the whole markets or like hunt them down from other players and things like that. So we'll see. I have more info on that later, because I can't say a lot more than that. But basically, don't, if you're trying to get a collection of them, rather than just like paying us some cash for like a set of 10 or something after the mint happens, we have some cooler ideas for how players can get their hands on some postcards. So
Yeah, it's funny, and I like the thought behind where we're going. You've got collectibles in the back of your room. Anybody that's watched my video sees collectibles in the back of my room. As gamers, you want to collect shit. That's kind of part of it. You attach yourself, and you can definitely see people wanting to sink their teeth into a game like of the first NFTs. And this is where blockchain gaming really changes that, and it's an exciting part of it, because you can collect that, and if you've had enough, or you want to move into another game, maybe you don't have the resources to be able to play into another game, you can move those assets into another game via selling them. Maybe not always be the same amount. You might lose a little bit, but you can move something. Whereas I've played World of Warcraft for 10 years, had spectral tigers, hundreds of millions of gold, blah, 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 blah. You can't use that later on. Once you finish with the game, you either give it to someone, try and sell it if you can, but then you're breaking TOS and there's risks everywhere and all that kind of
yeah,
stuff. So
and
with
yeah, I beat this drum a lot. I'll just try and do this pretty quickly, but like, it's not like this is a new thing either, at least for gamers, because like, it's a lot of us as kids, right? If you played Pokemon, or if you're a little more hardcore, or played like 40K, or tabletop thing, you know, again, maybe you wouldn't get what you put in. Some people, if they're lucky, might get more, but ultimately it's about playing something you enjoy, and then being able to recoup that. Like, if you want to graduate, if you want to move out of Pokemon and start playing Magic the Gathering, you can sell your Pokemon cards, right? And then get into Magic, right? Like, it's not like this is like a mind-blowing thing that will, like, people act like this is the something that can just has the potential to like destroy like these fragile game economies and things like that. But I mean, if you do it wrong, I guess maybe, but it's not like this is something that hasn't been done before with games and with gaming ecosystems. It's just we haven't seen it like so much with digital products, right? So
it's
it's a new
yeah, and
frontier in a way, but
that's right. And people aren't thinking about the recurring costs of account subscriptions for World of Warcraft is 180 to 200 US dollars a year. People aren't going, well, oh, it's 1.5, 2 Solana, but then they're expecting, oh, I've got to stake this and I've got to earn this amount of money and this amount. Holy fuck, you're paying for a game subscription in effect, like it's just chill out, calm down.
yes, no, I agree. So, all right, I've babbled a lot. I have a feeling some people might want to see what the game's like. So
Yes, yes, show us
we
the game.
be keen to do some of that. Can you see this my gameplay screen, or do you just see the editor?
I
Because I'm
see
trying to
the
pop
editor
out
at the
different
moment,
games.
yeah.
All right. let me put it back in here then. All right.
I'm getting a
I'll
little
do
bit of
this.
feedback on my screen, but it pauses. It does all right. It's doing all right. I can see it.
Does all right? Okay. Well, let me know if it's like super choppy, but
A little bit choppy.
let me see if I can. Stream quality. Not sure how I can make this a lot better.
With the voiceover, have you got a paid actor for that, or is that one of the team that's doing that? The flight attendant, not flight attendant. Oh, holy shit! The person doing the flight control.
Yes, our commander there. So we have a person. I guess you can call him like a music producer or something like that. I don't know what his proper title should be, but he helps us out with you know, all the audio in the game. So like voiceover, sound effects, music tracks, and things like that. So these are paid voice actors that we've worked with, and so some of it there may or may not be some team members sprinkled into this as well. But we definitely you know. We definitely like the feeling that decent VO provides a game, especially one that's going to have a lot of story behind it. And so probably not all of our side quests and all the little things that you see, but certainly like the main core storyline behind Roguestar will be fully VO'd and translated into a lot of the major languages as well. We've got a great Loke guy that we're going to be working with who's done a whole bunch of global titles, and I'm actually really excited for that because I don't think enough games like give that proper cred.
Yeah, I guess multilingual, bilingual is going to be quite important for Web 3.0 to work, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm curious to see how a lot of places do it because they're very English focused at the moment. And I think a lot of communities are very kind about that. And I think from the Web3 side, they might be more apt. But like when you talk about more traditional gamers, you know, they expect you to take the time. Like if you're a serious gaming title, right? They want you to take the time to do some localization there and treat them like what I'd call first class gamers. So, but yeah, so you can see here I'm flying around. This is one of 3 ships that we're going to have available in the combat demo. We have 2 available right now. One's like a standard fighter. This is more of an interceptor style, so it's a little bit speedy. It's got some short range lasers, as well as some dumbfire missiles.
So when the game comes live, are we going to have several choices of ships to start off with them? Because so far I've game tested the other one with the 2 different weapons on it as well.
Yeah, so the combat demo will have 3, like I said. The full game, lost my mouse. The full game is going to have a massive library of various ships that kind of, I don't want to say they map just to a class, but they're a little bit similar to like how you might think of classes, kind of a ARPG or an MMORPG. So a lot of people at the moment think we are just a game where you like fly around and shoot stuff because that's what the combat demo shows off.
Yeah.
But it is going to be a lot more than that. So you're going to have your player character, your avatar, and they'll be your pilot. Or in cases of larger ships, you might have multiple people, kind of as a crew there.
Is it similar to like an Eve thing where you get like a skill system and you level that up? I believe that might be what Star Atlas is playing out like as well. Is it like that, or are you going like you're going to have like a rogue that's got backstab, so they might be better at stealth moves with their ships, and then you're going to have like a tank who's going to have, classes out his ship and is more of a tanky fighter for the team?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, excellent question. So it's going to be a lot more in terms of feels and vibes. It's going to be a lot more the latter than the former. So we're not going to like completely restrict people down to, I guess, traditional like MMO roles, but we want there to definitely be a distinct style where you've got your DPS, you've got your support, you
Yep,
got
yep, yep.
your debuffer, your buffer, and there'll be certain ships that cater to those classes. You can kind of do what you want. It's one of those things we're not going to like restrict you and say, well, you can only fly this thing. But there'll obviously be ways for you to min max that and We'll go into a lot more detail on that when we release more information on all the different player societies, which is societies are kind of the word we're using for our classes. But players will basically have a society that they join, and that's like their main focus, and that unlocks these rather elaborate skill trees that they can dive into, and then like a little bit Path of Exile feel in terms of like being able to min max, rest, kind of generic skill system. So there's going to be a whole lot of ways for players to customize it and play it how they want. And again, like some of these other games that are longer lasting, right, we'll be doing a bunch of balance changes. And if something turns, we release something, it turns out it's a little bit too strong, we can tweak that down. And as the storyline progresses, right, similar to kind of like seasons and things like that you might see in Diablo.
Yes, that's more like just changing.
Things.
You would have to possibly adjust the metadata on the cards just to make sure we're making something too powerful.
Sorry.
I like the explosions, like the simplicity behind them. You've got that gameplay, and it's basic. So building on Unity, and that allows you guys to just build a lot quicker, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. We're able to iterate a lot faster, and most of my career in game development, you usually prototype on Unity kind of for speed, and then you'll build out the final product in Unreal just because it tends to look flashier. Because we're targeting a wide range of computers and platforms, we'll probably stick with Unity. We've had a couple of discussions, so we might do something kind of crazy where we have like an HDRP and a URP version. But for now, we're sticking with URP just because it allows us to, cover a wider range of performance issues. I don't want to, it's great to have something that's flashy and looks awesome, but if a bunch of people around the world can play it at like 10 frames a second, like they're not going to play it, right? So we're definitely cognizant of that. So one of the things you're seeing here too, we had a discussion today around a respawn system, certainly in the easier kind of game mode. That'll let you skip through having to replay this stuff. So, but I sucked. I died. So now you're gonna have to watch me shoot little space floaties again for a little bit. So
yeah, in the game testing one I've done on the weekend, you did respawn in. It was just a respawn close there, and you keep fighting.
Yeah, like I said, I went ahead and loaded up the development build.
Yeah.
So you're seeing some stuff that's a little bit raw here. I was actually testing some new turrets. Ooh, sorry, that's when I lose my mouse there because I'm on a window. But yeah, we're putting some in terms of like the next update that I'm hopefully pushing out hopefully tonight. It might be technically early tomorrow. But we're going to be doing some new things with some turrets, and we've got some new things we're doing with like some balance and some systems as well, based off of some feedback. So I'm hoping I can get to the enemy ace here, but if not, then so be it. But he's got kind of a cool little intro that we did. I don't know if you got to see him or not, Barn Dog, but
no, dude, I couldn't shoot shit. Everyone was. It was funny. I was missing everything, so I was firing both weapons, and yeah, I sucked at hardcore. But I did have a couple of rums, and the crowd watched, and we had a bit of fun nonetheless.
All right, no, that's cool. Yeah, the third ship is going to be, I guess you could say maybe like the most casual. But oops, I'm sitting here and I forgot to blow this up. But it'll actually have like an auto turret on it, so you don't have to be super awesome at shooting stuff, because you get close enough and your turret will do a chunk of the work for you. So, but just to give people a little bit of a different play style on that third ship.
Yeah, I guess that's I mean, you think about it, in a space environment, you would have something that would have some kind of auto targeting system, so it makes sense.
Yeah, you'd think like just like someday soon we'll have good self-driving cars. Like, you imagine in the future a computer's going to be pretty good at aiming stuff, right?
So. We're not all going to have the Chewbacca to fly alongside us and be the gunner. On that, is it going to be multiplayer in the ships initially? So are you thinking about possibly having the like flying a ship with 4 or 5 people together?
Yeah, absolutely. So long story short, there's going to be a focus on the individual ships, like kind of what I'm flying now, through a couple more demos that we're doing. But once we, I think it's the third or fourth, we'll see. What the way we release demos, we've kind of already been juggling a little bit. But we will have one that's a asymmetric uh, PvP scenario where you've got one side who's in like these little individual fighters, and they're going to be up against a crew that's in a much larger vessel working together, right? And so that's gonna give you a good taste for what the various kind of gameplay elements look like for being in an individual ship versus having something large enough where you need a proper crew.
Well, I've been asking plenty of questions. I've got several of my my 3.0 gaming legends here. A lot of people from the gaming council. Is there anybody that's got questions for KingLord before we kind of wrap up this part? It's awesome to see so many people joining in and just muting themselves and watching. So that's very cool. KingLord, give us a bit of a wrap up then for the next couple of weeks. It's going to be a pretty big, exciting time. You said in 2 days we've got some big announcements to keep an eye on.
Yeah, so basically, just keep a close eye on our Twitter. And oh god, I clicked on the Discord. No. But yeah, keep your eye on us over the next 48 hours. We're going to have a lot of really cool news on what the next steps for Rogue Star looks like over the course of April. Haha, gotcha. And then you can hopefully dig in and join us for kind of the rest of this journey here. But I'm really excited. Been really pumped to finally get to the point where we can like mint and move on to like the other stuff that we're doing. Because as much as I love this, like I said, Rogue Star is a much bigger game at its core, and I'm excited to be able to start to pull back the curtain on some things and show some stuff around our societies, our PC player character avatars, a lot more like the world building stuff that's going into this. Because as cool as all this is, the exploration, the crafting, and all that is at least the another 50% kind of the overall game experience.
Yeah, well, there's always going to be different styles of gamers to accommodate for, and the world building, the tech people not always going to want to PvP and to fight combat in a space game. There's so much to it, isn't there?
Way too strong. No, they are. I messed up and I made the bombers too strong on this build. So that's if you're not in the right space at the right time, it basically blows up the friendly cap ship in like 10 seconds. But anyways, whatever. But yeah, that's Rogue Star. If you've got any questions or anything like that, feel free to hit me up here. You can send me some DMs or hop into our Discord and check out all the stuff we've got there. We have, like I said before, we have our white paper is way too long. That's because I wrote it and it has probably like way too much detail, but that's got a huge amount of content in there. But if you just want a quick fix, happy to run you through kind of like the overall, key points to the project. So yeah.
I like it, dude. Appreciate you coming back on. Yeah, I'm very excited to see the mint. For everybody listening now, I don't think you've got mint dates locked fully at the moment, have you?
We do not. That may or may not be part of what comes out on
This
either
week.
tomorrow or Wednesday. So
Yep.
wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yep.
And I won't ask too many more questions on the mint, but for everybody, I know that they were talking potentially 10,000 last time, 5,000 on Solana, 5,000 on the secondary blockchain. There's going to be credit card options, so it's not just going to be Solana. It's going to be a multi-chain game, which is super fucking awesome. Games are going to start doing this more and more. I believe it's not just like I am a Solana maxi. I love my Solana, but we're going to be going multiple blockchain. It's just going to happen. And it's good to have that backup as well, just in case Solana's been shit for the last week and a half. They've done something on Genesis Go and they clicked the wrong box, and like there's fucking servers out there struggling. So if you've just got to follow the system,
been rough.
yeah,
It's been a bit rough, but yeah, that's I'm really excited to be a multi-chain game. I think it's interesting to me because the Web3 community in general, there's a lot of identity that comes from being part of a various blockchain, but we hope to kind of bring a lot of those people together into Rogue Star, and for it to be Solana maxis, Polygon maxis, like it's all good, like, and we can bicker and argue about who's better at the end of the day, but everyone's going to have access to Rogue Star, and it's going to be fully functional, right, even when some of these things have issues. And that's that's really appealing to us. And it's also a thing, like, as a game developer, ultimately I don't want to like force someone who is interested in playing the game to like go to a particular
Yeah.
blockchain, right? It's like I don't want to tell you have to use a Visa, over a MasterCard, if that's kind of like, I know that's not a fair analogy, but
No,
for
it's
someone who's
close.
not
It's
familiar with
close
the
enough for it.
blockchain,
That's right. Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of how it feels, right? Like, what do you mean I can't, pay with my my Matic? I have to pay with Solana,
And that,
Anyway,
I think it was Matic was where you guys were going, and it was potentially
yes,
credit card options as well for Matic, wasn't it?
yes. So the Solana mint will be just in Sol, for reasons that will be very apparent next day or two. And then the other, like I said, so that'll have a supply of 5,000, and then the other 5,000 we're doing will be over on Polygon Matic, using we're going to be partnering with Crossmint for that one,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
those of you
yeah,
who are
yeah.
familiar with them. If not, they're a good group, really like them. And so we're going to be accessible there with a credit card fiat option as well.
You can take my Solana, but you're not getting me to go to Matic. I'm sorry, sir. I love it.
You don't have to.
I'm very happy with you coming back, KingLord. It's much appreciated. And yeah, we'll be keeping base, and I'll be looking at to see what these announcements are. It's only Tuesday, so a couple of days before the week. Hopefully, I can put it on my Friday video.
Yeah, that'd be great. And the other thing too is, I really appreciate having a chance to come on and speak with you, Barn Dog, and your crew here. And we're going to be continuing to put out lots of awesome content. Like I said, we're aiming for like one kind of significantly different experience every month for Roguestar. And so, like, if you'd have us, like, the next cool demo we've got up, I'd love to be back and show you what we're up to.
Hundred
Since then.
percent, dude. I'll be getting games like this. For everybody listening, Roguestar, you can go and check them out. I believe it is Find Roguestar. Is that the correct? Let me go to my.
Yes.
So I've got it on Twitter now at the moment. So Find Roguestar on Twitter. I love it. It's a something that why am I looking at that? It's something that I'm keen to get into, a space genre game, a Star Wars styled game, building on Unity. There's actual gameplay, so you can play it. Probably two things worth mentioning. Obviously, there is a whitelist, and you can get access to that still by joining their Discord. But if you're going to start installing games, like, be careful with the machines you're installing on. So if you're going to be downloading EXEs and putting them onto a machine, be aware that you're downloading a third-party game. So I've downloaded it. I put it on my machine. But it doesn't just mean because I'm saying so that you've got to believe that. Make sure you do your research. There's going to come a time where you download something from someone and it's going to be a nasty situation. So by all means, please be safe. Make sure you have good virus scanners on your computers, all those basic things.
Yep, huge plus one. That also being said, if you're a member of communities where and I was kind of guilty of this in the beginning as well, but if they're throwing out just like a RAR or a zip file or something like that, like, do press on them to actually give you like an executable or an installer or something that's signed, so that it has a little bit more effort done in kind of the security side of things, because even if they're perfectly well meaning, someone can make a zip or a RAR file that looks like exactly the same thing. And there's very few communities that I see put out things like, a hash or anything to be like, oh yes, this is the actual proper installer, right? So be safe.
Yeah, I mean, holy shit, it's crypto. People are going to try and get your money. It's just a part of it. But cheers, dude. Thanks for coming on stage, and I look forward to seeing the updates this week. So we go from that one to show non-video participants, off that one. So that's our first guest. After that, we've now got Zoe from ChainMyth. Zoe, welcome along. Good morning.
Yo, mate. Good morning. It's been a long time since I spoke to you.
It has, dude. It was
Hope you're
like
doing well.
previous to Christmas, was it not?
Yes, it's been really a very long time. Unfortunately, I couldn't attend the last session due to some network issue. But today, yeah, I made it.
No, that is awesome, dude. So for anybody that's not familiar with ChainMyth, I will get some links out very shortly. But first-person shooter, similar to Valorant, they've been building since very, very early in Solana gaming side of things. Because keep in mind, we're under 12 months old in Solana gaming. So 6 to 12 months now, you'd say it. I've been in the system since about June myself, and Zoe and the team from ChainMyth were super, super early. And, you get a lot of people that are unhappy with investing in a game. I talked about this just now with Andrew and KingLord from Roguestar, is that you've got to put your money in. The team's got to build these products. Blockchain gaming is super, super early. So, Zoe, do you want to say a big hello and give us a quick 5-minute on what Zoe is, just for people that what ChainMyth is, for people that haven't heard of you guys before?
Yeah, sure, mate. I'll just give a small intro to all the listeners out here. So, ChainMyth is a 5 versus 5 FPS game with mobile mechanics, and we are under development for last 7.5 months. So, a lot of things changed along the way of development in terms of environment, in terms of characters. So, initially, when we started our journey, we just wanted to focus on one single culture, which was Indian. So we just selected all the Indian gods, goddesses, and also the map related to Indian environment. And but what happened on the later part is a lot of Indian community members raised out their voice, saying that it's not a good choice. Go ahead with gods, since it's a PvP game. It won't be nice to see gods clashing their gods. It's kind of sensitive topic to them. So they did mention to us to consider changing the characters, and we also agreed to that we'll be reworking on the characters to make it more generic. And around like late December or early January, we rolled out a gameplay clip version 1, which was mainly to focus on the backend stuff. During that time, we did not even start any of our works on front end or any of things related to animations. None of this started, but we just rolled out because there was a huge pressure back then. People were saying that what we just want to see what has been developed so far for the last 4 months. Can you guys just show what you guys have done so far? So that was the main reason we released out a version 1, and then many people, like half of the community, understood that it's purely a backend stuff, but 50% of the community just concluded that it's the final version. That's how the game is going to look. That's how the graphics is going to look. But the reality is there was no animation works, no front end works, no post processing work. None of this was worked on during that time. So yep, right now we are heading into April. It's a very, very important month for both the ChainMyth community and the team as well, because this month we will be rolling out the final version of our gameplay, and also a lot of characters have been changed. So you'll be seeing new characters in game, and the map has been changed. All the front end stuff is being worked on, and also once the gameplay clip has been rolled out, going forward, we will schedule alpha testing. So we will just invite like around 20 members, and then we will go ahead with the alpha testing. So in this call, I can just show you, I can just share my screen and show some our very, very early demo build, and just share with you guys. But it's still on progress, so it's not a finished version. It's just for you guys to show the environment. So just want to show how things looks like, so you will have a little idea.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. We are keen to see it. And it was interesting. Obviously, I've been here from the beginning with ChainMyth and seen the change and the pivot from the gods and goddesses. Ultimately, you've got to make sure you're not going to get in trouble with the laws and powers to be of India if you're putting things on and you're getting in trouble and people won't be able to play your game because it's been banned in a particular country. That has to be very realistic to understand that. So it's disappointing to see changes, but at the same time you're pivoting to concentrating on doing other genres with the Chinese, the Japanese. I think your first map's very heavy Japanese. Is that right?
Yes, correct. So since we chose to rework on the characters and environment, we decided go with different themes instead of just focusing on one single culture. We wanted to have different maps focusing on Japanese, Chinese, Western, and we just want to have different maps as well. So during alpha, you we will have one map which is focused on Japanese theme. So that's the thing I'll be showing right now.
Let's see it, my dude. Chuck on your screen share and we'll have a look. It must
Hang on.
from a personal experience though, has it been it must be pretty hard work for you, yeah? People are pretty ruthless with being very on, demanding of things coming out of the public.
Yeah. Yes. True. You also need to consider the community because without a community, a product won't succeed. So we really took back their feedback and reworked on all the stuff. Can you see my screen?
I've got your screen on that you are sharing, but I can see your Discord, so you're not there. There we go. Yes, I can now.
Yep. So yeah, these are all the new characters. So previously it was purely Indian gods and goddesses. So we reworked on all the characters. Right now we have completed 5 of them. So during alpha, you can expect at least 5 to 6 characters game ready, and sooner or later you will extend the hero pool up to 10 to 14. So these are the new characters. So we have a healer, and this is the Monkey King. This is the Zane. His element is ice, and this is Arya. So she's having all these wind kind of spells, and yep. So these are the new characters. And I'll just open my demo build.
I like and Savage. Obviously, Sergeant Savage has said he's very happy to play test, as are a lot of us at Grape. We've got quite a few people that are still holding on to the golden tickets.
Yep. Yep. I got a message from Savage that he's very much interested to test. So yep, I'll consider him. So this is the demo build, but this was shared like a month ago. So a lot of things changed then. So I just don't want to reveal too many things before gameplay. So I'll just share the older version. So ignore the UI. This is just for testing. So hang on.
Oh look, I don't even think ignore the UI. People need to understand these games have got to get built from scratch. So it's interesting to see these gameplays be built out from the beginning. It shows you the teams are working hard, and seeing the gameplay down the track as it comes out is important.
Yep. So this is the map which is under construction. So these all the environment assets which I was sharing both on Twitter and Discord. So there are a lot of buildings that has yet to be completed, but we are like 75% done with the map. So I'll just show you how things looks. So yeah, this is the first map. Yep. So it's still under construction. So this is site A, and this is how all this environment will look like. Yep. And we have to fill up with a lot of props, like all these card boxes, all the pipelines around the buildings, and all the wires across it. We have to work on the tiles, and we also have to replace the sky. Yep. And since I'm the only one right now on this map, I cannot show the opponent. But yeah, this is how things will look like. So animation things are being worked on. Currently, spell animations are being worked on at the moment. And these are the things I can show live right now. So you will see a lot of things more during the gameplay clip. Yep.
I mean, you've got the weapon on the character there is extremely well mapped out. I like that. And I noticed there was there was a bit of street art on one of the walls down there. So you built out a portion of the actual map. Could people fight in this?
Yes, they can. So right now I'm the only guy on this map. So if I can invite someone, I can invite, and we can have a small battle as well. Right now I'm the only guy hosting this, so you cannot see the opponents. But yeah, so what you're seeing here is all these empty buildings you're seeing here is called as blockouts. So this usually before we design a map, we'll just lay out all these blocks. We will have a rough idea how maps will look, and then right after finishing all the environment assets, we will just remove this block and replace it with actual environment assets. Yeah, so these are the things that has been done so far. So it's very empty right now. We have to fill up with a lot of props. We have to keep a lot of plants, trees, all the vegetation stuff. pipelines, some wires going from one building to another, make the map more detailed. So this is a very basic version. I just want to show how things will look when we replace all the blocks with the environment asset. So all these buildings I was just sharing on
And
Twitter back
can you
then.
fire the weapon for us? Can you do a bit of just a bit of animation with that? Show us what it
Yep.
all shoots like. I don't know if you've got a grenade launcher there as well, maybe.
Yep, this is how things will look. But this is not the final version. The crosshair will be changed. Right now, you're seeing it's just for testing purpose. We'll be changing. We'll be working on the crosshair UI. So this is how reload will look like. We need to change. We'll have multiple guns. On the UI you can see the spells as well. So you will be seeing the first person spells like cast. You will be casting spells on first person view. Just very similar to Valorant. Yep. So this is not a finished version. I'm just showing a very old build. This was shared like a month ago. I just don't want to show the latest one because I'm saving it for the gameplay clip.
No, that's all right. That's all
Find
right, dude. Dr. Panda's messaging you there.
Yeah,
So
yeah. He
I
thinks that this is the completed one. No, this is like 20% or 25% of the work. So you will
uh,
see a more completed version.
and when did you say that we're going to have the alpha testing? Is it end of
Yeah, it will
March
be
or
on April.
April?
It will be on April.
Yeah.
Initially, we planned for March, but currently the spell animations is being worked on. So once the spell animation is tough, we can go ahead with the alpha.
I really like, Zoe, that you haven't rushed doing a IDO. So obviously, you know, like Solana blew up last year in November, December with token launches and going ridiculously high highs when there was no utility, there was no game for these things. So it's impressive that you haven't tried to placate the crowd by you know, putting out a token launch to appease them. How are you going with like partnerships or VC investing now, IDOs, all those kinds of things? Where are you at in that stage of the game?
Yep. So we could have done token sales, and we would have just went ahead with the staking like all other projects. But the problem here is if we the one thing I really noticed is if we just go ahead with creating a token, because creating a token is not a big thing. You'll be just creating a token, mentioning the supply, reserve it for staking, and then pull it on a staking contract, and your community can go ahead and stake on all those things.
Hello?
But oh, can you hear me?
Oh, it's Mr. Rudi.
Oh, okay, sorry.
You're right. You keep going, mate. Good morning,
Oh,
Mr.
sorry.
Rudi. No, that's right. Just I think that might have been Mr. Rudi saying hello.
Yep. So yeah, the reason why we did not go ahead with token launch is the value will be depreciated over time if people are just going to stake and just take the tokens and sell it because the token don't serve any purpose. That's the main reason we do not want to go ahead and launch token without any VCs being backed. So for a project to be really successful, you must need VCs because they are the ones who will link you up with a lot of contacts, who will help you in a lot of fundings and linking you up with all the influencers, YouTubers, the list of goals they have. So we told them that we'll be reworking on the map. We'll be reworking on the characters. So they said that they will be just waiting to see the latest game demo, and then we can proceed with all this uh, signing the SAFT, all the seed rounds, private rounds, and then we can launch the tokens for the public. So until then, we just will focus on building. We'll show what the final product will look like, and then people can make their choice.
Yeah. I like it. So, what do we got coming up in the next 4 to 8 weeks then, Zoe? So, obviously, you've got the game testing coming out, the updated map, and I don't know whether there was any actual extra NFTs planned in the ChainMyth series of things. I think you just had the initial monkey. There was a shitload of utility out of that actual NFT. But are there going to be additional NFT launches from ChainMyth this year? Are you doing weapons, changes to characters, skins? I don't know, anything like any of that?
Yeah. Once the game goes live, so this is how we plan. So right now the only tokenized character is Monkey King.
Yeah.
So once we roll out the beta version of this game, people can go and summon their custom skinned Monkey King and are involved in this game. And play to earn will be available just for the Monkey King NFT holders initially. And when we have more demand, we can open up the pools for the non NFT holders as well. But the priority will be for both the Monkey King holders and golden tickets. And regarding new characters being tokenized and all the custom skins like to be tokenized, it will happen on mid of this year, like around May or June. That's when we will focus on creating custom version of the weapons. So I'm not sure if you have played Valorant, but if you look at Valorant, they will have a lot of custom skins like a rifle or sniper. They will have a very like a dragon version of that sniper, dragon version of snipers. So we will be rolling out very similar to that, and those custom skins will be tokenized and will be distributed to all the golden ticket holders. So golden ticket holders, they can either choose, or if they want to use that skin for the game, they can do as well. So they have all these options, and yep,
Yeah, I was
we
actually
are very close
just
to.
looking at the golden ticket. So one Solana, are they selling? Are people holding on to them? They don't really look like there's a lot of activity behind them. So it looks like people are just either not interested in buying them or people are not putting them up on the marketplace.
Yep, when I last checked, I think there was like around 70 plus listed, and even the Monkey King NFT, there's like 500 plus listed. So currently, the floor price, all this price speculation is been going on with this small amount of people who has listed. They just expect news, or if things takes too long, they just undercut the floor. But majority of them are holding it. That's the very positive thing about our community, because our Monkey King supply is 5,000 and 4,500 is being held by the holders. It's only like 500 plus being listed on the secondary market. So that's a very positive news for us. So going forward from April, May, we will be rolling out a lot of lot of stuff related to the game, all the partners, VCs, a lot of things are coming ahead. So we are positive about giving a very strong product and strong value to all the holders.
Yeah, I like it, man. Like, it looks good to see the map finally. I have watched a little bit of the alpha gameplay from before the announcements and stuff you've been showing, and have been keeping up with the stuff. That's good, very good. So it looks like we've got some great news coming up in the next month or two. And what are we looking at for developing timelines, roughly? Like, everyone needs to take a step back. Alpha, beta, that they've all got it all takes time. Sometimes they can get delayed, but what's a rough kind of schedule for the year?
Okay, so far I've not given an exact date for the gameplay rollout, because one thing I noticed is when we give an exact date or timeline, the pressure is insane.
Yeah.
People get excited, and when we couldn't meet the timeline or things get delayed, there's a lot of futs, there's a lot of disappointments. That's the main reason why we're not giving exact timelines on the gameplay clip going live, but it will be around, but it's coming surely on April, that's for
Yep.
sure. Just we are not just giving the date yet, but it's coming on April, and alpha testing will be followed right after the gameplay. It's on April as well. Regarding the IDOs, regarding all the VCs and stuff, you can expect it on May or June, between those 2 months. So once we are done with all this IDO alpha testing, play clip rollout, that's when we will be focusing on all the new maps. Right now, it's just one single map. We'll be focusing more on new maps, expanding our hero pools. Right now, we only have 5 characters. We want to reach at least 14 of them. So rest of the year till end of 2022, we just want to have at least 3 to 4 maps being completed with 10 hero pool and the token being utilized as per the ecosystem design. I think it has been mentioned on our white paper, like what's the purpose of Myth token, what you can do with your NFTs, and play to earn game. It's right before any demand. We just want to give that feature only for the NFT holders. We will just prioritize the NFT holders, and when there's more demand, we can slowly open it up for the public.
So I know we talked heavily about partnerships and stuff last year. Are you linking up with any particular games that are going to help you build out a character, for example? Because now, instead of being based on gods, you're going to be based on themes. So are there other games potentially that have proposed some kind of partnership with you, or anything you propose to other games that have looked promising?
Yes, okay. There's one blue chip NFT. Many people will know that, but I just don't want to name that yet. But it's a monkey NFTs, and its floor price is above 50 plus, and it's a very huge community. To me, it's personally one of the blue chip because it's in top 5 in the ranking. So we engaged them. We told them that we want to work on building the player base. We want to have a lot of players coming into our game, downloading it and playing it. So we want to establish a collaboration between their community and ourselves. So NFT holders, we will just create a custom skin, just one single character for their community. So whoever's holding that NFT can come and unlock it using their NFT. So in that way, we can have a larger player base. So of course, collaboration is a must in this metaverse space. We are very very early, and right now this play to earn stuff is being only watched by the blockchain community. So we need to target the right audience, and we want to have at least 50,000 to 100,000 player base. That's my target since day one. So yeah, we also spoke to gaming guilds. I think I mentioned this last time that we spoke to Kuku. He's from the Axie community. He's one of the member of
Yeah.
Axie, and yep, he is part of YGG. And you all know that YGG is one of the largest gaming guilds in NFT play to earn space. So that is one very, very potential partnership going forward. And regarding other projects collaboration, like I said, it's one of the blue chip NFT on Solana. I don't want to name them until we get like 100% confirmation, but they are very much interested. I shared with them the demo. I shared with them some screenshots. They were very much interested to work with us.
Yeah, I'll have my guess, but there's no need to say it. That's good. I like it. It's good to see projects linking up and offering utility to their NFT holders, but hopefully putting bums in seats. That's the big thing, isn't it? You want players. You want people to play the game, not just to buy an actual monk. I mean, people have got to play it to adopt it. You're saying 50 to 200,000 gamers. That's awesome. And yes, we have spoken about YGG and that before. So it's awesome to finally get you back on. It's been a while. Usually we do the hour AMAs, but obviously this session with Grape Gaming Days, the half-hour sessions. It's cool to see you sitting in the game. Hopefully we can start doing some game testing. Saturday nights we do game testing here as well. So we are more than keen at Grape to help with that and put some actual players. I'm not very good at first-person shooters. We saw that last 2 weeks ago with ChainMyth. With Contention. I suck at it, but it's good to get the rest of the gamers here playing it. So, keep us in mind by all means. We will love to have a look.
Yep, sure, mate.
And any closing thoughts from you today?
Yeah, so to be very honest, training committee is extremely patient. I have not seen a very patient committee like this because it's been almost like 3 months they have been holding, and they've been asking. We have been holding for almost 3 months, and what are the utilities? What are the things we are going to get? It's just holding a JPEG for right now. So to all the training committee members, good things are coming. We main thing we do not want to launch a token before any VCs is we want to have a value appreciating token instead of a value depreciating, because it's not easy. I mean, it's not hard to spin up a staking pool and ask the NFT holders to go and stake, get the tokens, and sell it them for whatever tokens they want. But without any utility, without any backers, it's hard for the tokens to survive. That's the main reason we have not yet rolled out a staking pool, but it's coming very soon. You can expect it by within next month or so. I'm not giving an exact date for now because we have a lot of official things that has to be sorted with all our partners, with all the SAP signing and stuff. That's the main reason we are holding things on. Once that has been cleared, we can start rolling out things very fast. Yep, that's the message from me. You guys have been patient for 3 months, just a month more.
I like it, and I'll reiterate that sentiment. Games aren't built in 3 months, realistically, so it's cool. It's be patient. I've stopped looking at the floor price of it. It's funny, like you're investing in the game, you're investing in the team. You might spend $150 to $180 to get a World of Warcraft membership for 12 months. I'll go back to that because that's the reality of Web 2.0 gaming, whereas we're in Web 3.0, things need to be built out. And they aren't quick processes. I'd rather wait the extra 6 months and have a game that come out that's going to be good and supported and playable. And that's the main thing. That's how games get adopted. So thank you very much for coming on, Zoe. It's been a long time in between breaks, and hopefully we'll get you in to see some of this gameplay that's coming out in the next 1 or 2 months. Thank you, Zoe. Just let me get some links out next. So that's Zoe from ChainMyth, and I've got plenty of AMAs, deep dives, and stuff like that on my YouTube. So they've been around for a long time in Solana, and very early in my career with Solana gaming. And it's really important to actually get some of these games back to see where they are down the track. They minted super cheap. It was like 1.2 Solana back in the day. And they minted their first ones, was it November last year? So I'm linking out the Twitter for Eizper Chain. That's our next guest on stage is Rakeen, and it's Mr. Rudi. So Mr. Rudi has been back with us before at Grape. He did a live demo last time of him fighting the Hulk Jouster, and it's been a lot since has happened in the 4 to 6 weeks since they've come on stage. There's like 3 to 4 bosses to play now, but they're going through their mint. The minting process we'll talk about with Mr. Rudi because it's quite a complicated series of what they're actually doing. And it's not a very simple process for them. So it's super interesting to see it go through. And welcome back to stage, Mr. Rudi. I know you guys have a team meeting just before this, so you booked in for the last one. You've been patiently waiting for the last 5-10 minutes. And the best thing about being last on stage is we're not in a rush now. We can spend some time and have a look, and hopefully you've got a different boss fight for us. But I tried to download the demo. I had it playing, but we couldn't get a group formed up. We couldn't do a server on the weekend. Yeah, I can hear. Oh, camera's okay. Can you do any screen sharing though? Because you should have the access there. Yep. That's so. How have you been over the last 4 to 5 weeks, Mr. Rudi? Has it been a super stressful time with the mints and everything's kind of on or off? Yeah, it's such a hard program to launch up. Your virus scanners struggle with it. It's so painful trying to do some of these games. Um, I have definitely seen the third character, but I haven't got to play it because we couldn't get the server on the weekend. I played the first two characters, Chris, Harley, and have very keen to see the new characters come out. So. Always been a free to play game. That's really how you're going to adopt in mainstream, isn't it, Mr. Rudi? You've got to have that free to play game to start off with. So obviously you're going to be a free to play game as well. So like you're saying, there is a free to play character, and that's important, isn't it? In the relations of not everybody can sign up and spend two to, actually it's 3.5 mint is the cheapest gaming pack, isn't it? Because you get the 4 NFTs within that gaming pack. And on your NFTs, Mr. Rudi, you had a lot of competitions early on, boss fights. If you defeated the bosses, you could win NFTs. It was a great way to get your community involved and build a player base. How many NFTs were given out for that? Like, was that many? Did many people manage to beat the challenges? Because some of them were also not necessarily defeating a boss. I think there was a collection achievement as well, which would allow you to get an NFT. Just the game is updated from where it was yes, like on the weekend, Saturday night, I tried playing this and I love it. It's cool. Yeah, I did. I just loaded it up this morning, so I updated mine Friday or Saturday. It was meant to be the multiplayer, but I was struggling to see, like, we couldn't create a lobby. That was where, so we tried, but I can join in if you've got a lobby, I can join in yours and we can have a look. Yeah, absolutely. The problem I found with the lobby was when you join it, I think you have to exit the game. But yeah, I couldn't enter into the instance on Saturday night and actually just go and fight and play and muck around. Whereas now I can, and I'm in there at the moment. So that's I'll load up my archer and we'll see what we can do. So this version here should be multiplayer, but you just want a couple more days just to get that working properly, yeah? So the multiplayer, you're saying the lobby's a little bit buggy at the moment, so we just need a couple more days to be able. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't know. I'm just going to jump inside now. You can see my screen sharing. Um, I'll take the Archer inside there, and I've enjoyed playing it so far. It does remind me of a Diablo style thing where you're going to go in and do those bosses over and over and over. And I've only done the Hulk Jouster, so I'm definitely keen. And we tried the Saturday night, but obviously it just needed that little bit of work. But I'm going to have to respec my keys because Q for the potions for me is problematic. I'm used to the QWE as my controls. Yeah, absolutely. Agree. Yeah, like this is multiplayer and that's how you enjoy it and that's how you make a game that's gonna stick around for a while because you want to play with people. It's not just about making money and NFTs and farming and that kind of stuff. You actually want to do things and play with your mates. Oh, we'll absolutely be putting a team in here. So, I mean, for us at Grape, we want to be going, I want us to be going deep into 3.0 and exactly that, building teams, not necessarily around just in there to make money, like to have a bit of fun. Saturday nights is a little bit different for us now, is we're going to start playing these games and we're going to get assets at Grape and we're going to build teams. And hopefully, because we've got some of these tooling that's coming out, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Cardinals at all, but Cardinals is available now. And obviously, IQ Protocol is another good lending protocol. But yeah, we can actually lend assets now. So as soon as the assets come into the game, we can actually start lending them to our members from Grape. And it's something that we want to do, like it's not just about making money. It's about having that fun, playing as a group together, taking down bosses and being a guild. I think we're a little bit too concentrated on making profit and flipping and getting NFTs and making bags of Solana and stuff like that. I want to sink my teeth into some games and actually get a bit of a play around them. Yep, let me just run back so I don't die, and by all means, chuck it back on. You were one of our best guests, Mr. Rudi, when you came in last time, and I loved it watching you play the game, and you were genuinely enjoying it, and that's what I love to highlight. You know, like we clipped that out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can line up some people for that. Absolutely. Yep, yep. You're looking at the weapons at the moment, and you're just loading up some different NFT weapons. Big. So does that mean people can come in and buy a tier 6 weapon because it's blockchain, right? We can buy and sell NFTs. So does that mean people are going to be able to buy an NFT and not have to grind out the first 5 levels? So does that mean people can buy a tier 6 NFT and they don't have to grind out the first 5 levels if they just want to start playing the game? You're starting to touch the cockles of my heart, Mr. Rudi. This is something like I can play the game and look, this is a game that I could play. Maybe not, it's not World of Warcraft, but there's time. You're only in alpha, so it's important to remember that too. Um, yeah, definitely, very very cool. I like I've found a good guild system of getting players for the game, Mr. Rudi. It's called Children. So you have your kids and you just get them to play the game with you, and they're grinding it out for you. No, no. So my children, 10 years old, he's looking for a game to play as well. Well, you'll be mobile game. You said 2023, didn't you? So it's going to be accessible. They look good. Those weapons look really, really good. So that's how they upgrade the first 5 tiers. Yeah. So is this? I've seen this tweet. Is this and the announcement on the Discord? Is that going to be like that's the main village? This isn't like a metaverse land or anything that you're purchasing in the game. Yep, yep, still here. Yep. Oh no, sorry. So when you were showing that land picture there, that's the actual town, isn't it? That you playing the game at. So that's not like land you can purchase within the game. Just let me turn your volume up just a little bit. That's right. I'll turn your volume up. So when you were showing us that land, that's not actual land that we're purchasing in the game, is it? That was just the actual town that you're playing in. 'I like it. I like it, Mr. Rudi. I appreciate you coming back in, showing us more gameplay, showing us some weapons. So the NFT launch that is going now, isn't it? People have bought the NFTs, the packs. They were packs of 4, 8, and 12, and different prices from Solana. How did you go with that? Because it was a different mint, wasn't it? You weren't minting just one NFT. The smallest pack was actually 4 NFTs for 3.5 Solana. 6.5. Yeah, I like it, Mr. Rudi. Very, very keen to see how this goes. I'm super keen to see the multiplayer out of it as well. I'll chug a potion. Um, yeah, very keen. And it'll be good to see people at Grape getting on board. And as well, because we now know that we can actually rent out assets. We've got some sitting there waiting, and oh, hello. I haven't seen the new bosses, so I'm going to be keen to actually do this with friends. That's part of what I'm looking at. I just got up to level 3, I see. Yeah, I like it. Have you got any closing thoughts for us, Mr. Rudi, on anything to expect over the next kind of month or 6 weeks? If we can just share that in the live chat question would be awesome. I'll put that on YouTube as well. Hey, there's some gold, 40 gold. Marketplace.eizperchain.com. I love it. Let's have a look at that. Did you find it was a little bit of a harder mint because we had obviously it got delayed a couple of times, but the mint itself wasn't an easy process, was it? Because of the way the pack system worked. All right, so I'll leave that. Have we got any questions from the crowd? Any questions from YouTube or Discord? Go for it now would be the best time. Oh, sorry, I was just checking with the crowd and people listening in at the moment. So I'm keen to see what these art books are actually looking like. So with the AR card, do you use something like Oculus goggles for those? So you hold your phone back from it. Yep, yep, yep. We've yeah, we've got the Garuda clan here in Grape, so we've actually got an Indonesian portion of people that are in there. We've got really great Indonesian friends here at Grape, so This is one of the reasons why I've tried to get into Eizper Chain and to learn a little bit, is because it would be really good for them, and we're going to be able to lend them assets and, you know, pick the game up as a Web 3.0 game. Level 10, yeah, well, there's the challenge. I could definitely make it to Indonesia. It's very close to us from where I am. I am going through Europe later in this year. We're going to Grape in Greece because they're doing a hacker house at the end of May, so I'll be going to that. Yeah, I love it, Mr. Rudi. I wish you luck. For everybody listening, yeah, I've minted with Eizper Chain, so I minted the all 3 packs. I'll be playing the game. We'll be playing it at Grape. We've got some great NFTs, and we'll be putting a team in for it. So by all means, get a hold of me at Grape Protocol if you're looking at it and you're interested in the game. We're going to be able to play it and lend these assets to our Grape members. So it is super awesome. So when are we able to start farming for those tier 6 weapons, Mr. Rudi? Is that now? Oh, we're gonna have to. Yeah, we're gonna have to get started. I love it. All right. Well, I appreciate your time and coming back on, Mr. Rudi, and I'm definitely keen to see how this multiplayer and the farming goes about. And there's the challenge for all the great people listening in later on down the track. We need to get in here and start farming before those 350 weapons are gone. That is awesome. Thank you, Mr. Rudi. I don't need to run away this time. Last time KingLord was here, I had to run away at the end because I was busting to go to the toilet. Are there any closing thoughts from anyone from stage? Any questions from Mr. Rudi, or anything that people want to talk about before we close down the stage? I don't have any questions from YouTube. There's no questions in Discord at the moment. I guess we'll leave it there. 3 great games. So we had Roguestar coming in first. That was KingLord. We had Zoe coming in from ChainMyth and Mr. Rudi coming in from Eizper Chain. So 3 games that have been around building for a while. So everyone's done different. Eizper Chain actually did really well at one of the hackathons. KingLord from Roguestar, they've been around for a shorter period of time from this year. And ChainMyth have been building out since last year. So, you know, like we've got games that have been here at different times, and it's really, really interesting to get them back and have a to have this kind of update in this system. And I'm very keen to lead these 3.0 games. Not all of them, of course. We're going to have different subject matter experts for different games, but there's definitely on the list here all 3 of these I'll be playing myself. I've got NFTs in ChainMyth. I've got an NFT in Eizper Chain, and Roguestar I'll definitely be minting. So I've got a whitelist for that. So very cool. Thank you, gentlemen, for all of your time involved. It makes the day special. Next week we're going to be taking a break from GGD. We're going to have the day off. It's the first week of the school holidays here in Queensland, so we're doing something special with the children. But we will be firing back to stage on the 12th and the 19th. From there, I've got to double check with dates for Europe. But yeah, I appreciate everyone coming. Thank you very much, and have a great day.